What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Smoking Business Podcast with your boy Brendan Robinson. I'm here today with a special guest. Some will say my other half. You know what I'm saying? The co-founder of Mud Brothers Cannabis Company, co-founder of Minority Cannabis Academy, co-founder of 420 NJ Events. My big brother, King Muddy, Stanley O'Cora. What's up, baby? How you
Bro, what
doing,
to do,
man?
man?
I was saying I appreciate you coming on the show, man. You
For
know,
sure, bro.
it's a long time coming. I appreciate you doing this, man. I know you don't do interviews. I know this ain't your bag too much. So I appreciate you coming on here and
No
just kicking
doubt,
it with
bro.
me, man. You
Yeah,
know
no
what I mean?
doubt, no doubt, no doubt.
So, bro, listen. Obviously, it's a lot that we could talk about. We'd be here all goddamn day. What I want to get through today is just explain to everybody kind of how we came about. When I say we, the Mud Brothers, our mindset, our mentality. Give a little insight into that piece. I want to jump into the ecosystem we created together with 420 NJ events, with MCA, with Mud Brothers in general. Touch on some things we're seeing now in the cannabis industry, and then
Okay.
that's pretty much all I'm trying to accomplish, man.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Um, I want to start by just telling the audience about Chesilhurst, man, and
Okay.
really explaining to them where we come from, why that plays a part in who we are today, and just from you, like I would love to hear your perspective. I'll offer mine as well, but just give them some insight into kind of why we are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So yeah, we're from a small town called Chislehurst, New Jersey. It's in Camden County, New Jersey. If some of y'all don't are not familiar with Camden County, it's South New Jersey, maybe but 15 minutes outside of Camden. Chislehurst is a very small town by population. I think it's less than 2,000 people that live in Chislehurst. Predominantly, I want to say it's about 88% African Americans that live in Chislehurst as well. We got one school
Hmm.
in Chislehurst.
Do we still have that?
No,
I was like,
it's
yeah,
shut down,
okay,
but
yeah,
not anymore.
yeah.
But we had one school in Chislehurst that housed us from pre-K all the way up until sixth grade.
Uh-huh.
Um, yeah, man, a very small town, very close knit town. Um, Very desolate.
Hmm.
Yeah, very
Hmm.
desolate. Chislehurst had a nickname for the nickname for Chislehurst, excuse me, was trees and dirt.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because it just wasn't that many houses in Chislehurst at all.
For sure.
And the houses are pretty far apart from each other. I think now with population now and development now, I
Hmm.
think it's more a little bit more populated, but it's very spaced out. So towns like that are very small, not a lot of opportunity,
Hmm.
um, a lot of negative things because there's not a lot of opportunities,
Hmm.
right? So you have again, I think you said a lot of times Chislehurst wasn't a violent town. It
Hmm.
wasn't
Hmm.
by any means. It wasn't a violent town by any means.
Hmm.
But there wasn't a lot of opportunity, and there was just a lot of drugs
Real
in
shit.
Chislehurst.
Real shit.
Yeah. So that's Chislehurst in a nutshell.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't agree more. Like, and to my brother's point, when you're in a place where there is no opportunity, there is no resources, there's nothing to do, you're gonna get into some shit.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
for sure,
you know,
for sure.
we played ball, we played sports,
Yeah,
football, basketball.
yeah,
But after that, you was trying to get some money. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
100%,
Like,
100%,
and,
100%.
and the influence we did have was the drug dealers.
Yeah,
You know, the only success stories you saw was the nigga that had the car with
yeah,
the
yeah.
rims,
That was it.
the sound
Yeah,
system, the
yeah.
pretty
That was
girl.
it.
You know what I'm saying? And shit, it was motivating.
That was success.
That was motivating. I'm gonna give it 1,000. That was
that
motivating.
was our measuring stick for success
Hmm.
growing up in Chislehurst. If you had a candy colored car,
Ooh.
20-inch rims and a system,
Yep.
and you sold drugs,
Yep.
you were it. Or you played basketball,
Uh-huh.
you know what I mean, and you didn't get the girls. Or you played sports and you didn't get the girls.
Real
You were just
shit.
an athlete.
And
Yeah,
you know what Chiselhurst, think about it right now. Like Chiselhurst really taught us that resilience we have, that mud mentality.
yeah,
Because when you were 14 years old, you was a grown ass man.
yeah,
You were treated like one. A grown
yeah,
ass man would
for
fight
sure,
you. You know what I'm saying? Like
absolutely,
you had to really know how to carry yourself at 14, 15 years old.
absolutely.
You know, we was outside.
Yeah, definitely was outside,
We was
man.
outside. You know what I'm
Outside for
saying?
sure,
So it's
absolutely.
interesting, man. Like so that mentality from growing up in Chiselhurst, like talk about how that translates into the mentality of Mud Brothers, right? And just the overall ethos of what we do.
Yeah, I think it starts with our slogan, straight out the mud.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Because again, Chislehurst had little to no opportunities, right? So you had to be resourceful and make the best out of the situation and
Hmm.
what you had.
Hmm.
And that's our ethos with Mud Brothers. That's been our journey with 420 NG events. That's been
Hmm.
our journey with MCA.
Hmm.
So I think it just translated, it correlated, and just carried over.
Real
Right?
shit.
Absolutely.
What a lot of people don't know is that my brother is the one who came up with all this shit. years ago. Shit, now 7 years ago, I think. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
roughly about that.
And he had the idea to launch 420 NJ
Yeah.
events, and at a time where I didn't know why he wanted to do it,
Yeah.
and why he thought it was going to be what it was going to be. You know what I'm saying? But I would love to hear you just talk about that,
Oh,
obviously from your perspective,
sure.
and just walk us through that journey of going from that idea at your living room table to now we're in 100 and some odd goddamn stores.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've been around cannabis for a long time, right? I guess what we call the legacy side, right, or traditional market side.
For sure.
Um, I've been around it for a long time, and I felt like if there was ever an opportunity that came across in New Jersey, I felt like I paid my dues. Like I
Mm-hmm.
need to get my foot in the door some way, somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Back in 2017, I remember we were just sitting at our table, at my table at my house,
Mm-hmm.
our weekly meetup, or you know what I'm saying, that we had our weekly smoke session we had every Thursday or Friday
Real
night.
shit.
You know what I mean? And I think we were actually just watching news,
Mm-hmm.
right? We were
Mm-hmm.
probably watching news or Jeopardy or some bullshit, just get high or
Yep.
something. And Murphy came across the screen, I
Talking
think,
that shit.
yeah, talking that shit and saying that, yeah, we want to legalize cannabis here if you guys vote for me. You know what I'm saying? And 2017, I think we're both working in corporate America. Not
Yep.
think we're both working in corporate America.
Yep.
We just got off work and I think it was like a eureka moment at that point in time. It was like, yo,
We were both over it.
both over. We
You
got to
feel
figure
me?
out something. We were already headhunting for other things anyway. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? But it was almost like a eureka moment at that point in time. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm like, shoot, man, if we can get in this way in the industry some way somehow, you know what I'm saying? I think this will be the path. You know what I mean? That we will go on. And 420 NJ events just made sense. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
know we were at that point in time we wanted to call it 420 events,
Uh-huh.
not 420 NJ events,
Uh-huh.
but we didn't dive all the way in. We weren't 100%
For sure.
confident in what we wanted to do at that time, so it just made sense to go ahead and trademark that and buy those domains and stuff like that. But yeah, man, that's kind of where it started from.
Now let me ask you from just a honest perspective.
Hmm.
The day you had that idea, did you think it would be what it is right now?
Nah, not at all.
Mhm.
Not at all. I'll tell you one thing though. I did think that from that day, I did think I was going to get into the cannabis industry, some way, some fashion, somehow.
Okay.
I knew that was the path.
Hmm.
I didn't know it would be this, right, or to this magnitude, but I
Hmm.
did think that that was
So
going
one
to happen.
so one thing I want to do, right? Because I feel like this is me just with my journalist hat on.
Hmm.
When you talk to me or you,
Hmm.
everyone kind of clusters everything we do together. And I get it, it's the ecosystem.
Okay.
I want to really talk about each company one by one.
Okay.
Then we can bring it all together.
Sure.
Let's stay with 420 NJ events.
Okay.
It goes from being this idea at your table with your brother
Okay.
to now y'all partner with Nikan.
Sure.
Y'all throw some of the craziest events throughout the year. Y'all
Absolutely.
are in the mix with any and everything.
Sure.
Just walk me through that process from the day that was an idea to be whatever it was meant to be when you first started it,
Hmm.
to getting to the point where y'all are now a premier organization, premier name in the state.
Man, it was a lot of work in between. You know what I'm saying? Um, from starting from an idea, right? And when we started this company, it was during COVID.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Most Americans had a lot of time on their hands. Most people were telecommuting and working from home. Um, so you were restricted on a lot of things that you were able to do
Hmm.
at that point in time. And cannabis was new at that point in time. Cannabis was not a big thing in New Jersey in 2017. I
Hmm.
can't remember when it came into medical use in New Jersey here. Do you remember? I want to say it was either 15 or 16.
Yeah,
So it was fairly
a
new.
couple years earlier.
It
Yeah,
was, yeah, it was
you only
fairly,
had like 7 dispensaries or something like that.
if yeah,
Seven.
if that
Yeah,
at
yeah,
that, yeah,
for sure.
exactly, right.
Hmm.
And they're all, and I think closest to us is only Curaleaf at that
For
point in
sure.
time. It was
And then
nothing else.
botanist came, and yeah,
Long way after,
for
but it was
sure,
just Curaleaf
for sure.
dominating down there. Yeah, man. So cannabis was fairly new, so um, there wasn't any kind of blueprint into how to do this, right? We
Hmm.
just kind of had to hit the ground running, for lack of better words. And
Hmm.
what I mean by that, I mean it was just like, let's just do a lot of guerrilla marketing. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
Let's figure out who the players are. It's only 7 of them, luckily, right? So it wasn't that we had to do a ton of research,
For
right? It was
sure.
very limited. But let's throw our name in the hat and let's see where we can go, what doors we can open.
Hmm.
To where it is today, you know what I'm saying? It's been a blessing. You know what I'm saying? I would never in a million years think where we're at today is where we
Hmm.
would be at. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. So in particularly, I think what I'm trying to get down to is like you guys come out, right? We do the expungement clinic as our first
Sure.
event, and how do we even transition into getting a deal with Nikan and partnering with Nikan, like kind of like
Okay.
that transition that we went from just being this community-based local kind of organization to now the biggest B2B in the Northeast.
Yeah, yeah. To be honest, man, the goal was always to be the biggest. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? And with doing so, I think the turning point for us, to be honest with you, is when we did our event in Atlantic City.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
We did our event, I think it was our entrepreneur
Entrepreneur
event.
event,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it was our entrepreneur event. We did that in Atlantic City. Um, and it so happened that Nikan actually did it the same weekend we did
Mhm.
it. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And we had a great crowd come through for our event.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? A great crowd. It felt good. And we didn't, unbeknownst to us, I don't think we even knew Nikan was even going
No,
on.
we didn't do it on
I
purpose.
mean, had
Yeah.
no clue.
No
I mean,
idea. Mhm.
zero. Didn't even really
Just
know
the
what
universe.
Nikan, yeah, it just happened like that. But we had
Mhm.
a really big crowd come through. You know what I'm saying? And the noise, we made a lot of noise with that event, right? And it turned a lot of heads and also turned Nikan's head
Yep.
to a point where they said, hey, you know what I'm saying? I think it's better that we work together,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying, than work in separate tandems than compete with each other.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So
Now I saw something recently that Nikan is doing a cannabis cup
we are.
in Jersey.
Yeah, we are. We are. We are. We are doing a Nikan Cup. We're bringing the Cannabis Cup to New Jersey for the first time here with Nikan. Yeah, man, it's exciting,
It's
man.
crazy.
It's exciting, bro. That's something I always wanted to do.
That's
You know what I'm
crazy.
saying? It's something I always wanted to do. I've been a huge follower for High Times and the pathway they set forth with the Nikan. I mean, excuse me, with the High Time Cannabis Cups for years.
Mhm.
Going back to the 70s. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't in the 70s, but I
For
was
sure.
born in the 70s, but I still watched it. I still did my research and
Uh-huh.
studied and watched those things. And yeah, man, I'm just excited to bring that to the Garden State, man, for the first time. Something I
That's
always wanted
hard,
to do.
man. That's
Yeah,
hard. Now, so 420 NJ Events is obviously doing this thing.
yeah.
What made you guys want to go do MCA, Minority Cannabis Academy,
Mhm.
which I believe is a nonprofit?
It is a nonprofit. Believe it or not, when we were doing 420 NJ events, when we started 420 NJ events, 420 NJ events not only does events, but we also do media.
Okay.
Um, So we were going around, like I said, guerrilla marketing, going to different events as media, right, covering different events around the cannabis industry. It wasn't that many going around, but the few that were happening, we were covering them as media at that point in time. One of the things that we covered was um, it was a workshop, an 8-hour workshop, how to get your license here in
Mm.
New Jersey. Licenses weren't given out yet. No one knew anything about anything, right? So there was this company from Texas that came in. I can't remember the name.
Leafy.
Leafy Green
Yep.
Agency, right?
Yep.
It was Leafy Green Agency came from Texas. They threw an 8-hour workshop. We came and covered it as media.
Mhm.
Um, and at that point in time, we were doing 420 NJ events and we're doing social equity, right? But you know, the goal was at that point in time to eventually have a dispensary, right? Get in the industry some way, some fashion,
For
right?
sure.
Um, so we went to this 8-hour workshop. We're covering this thing as media, feeling good. It was actually our first paid gig,
Feeling great.
feeling amazing. You know what I'm saying? A first paid gig. Um, got paid $500. I'm gonna be honest with you,
It
bro.
felt
It
great.
felt great. You know what I'm
You hear
saying? To
me?
cover that as media.
Felt great.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That was the first money we ever made as a company. So we covered this 8-hour workshop, right? So everything that we thought we knew about cannabis, we found out really quick in 8 hours that we didn't know anything.
It was shit.
You know what I'm saying? They showed everything from probity to licensees, to municipality supports, to SOPs. I
Mhm.
mean, you can name it. And at that point in time, I don't. At that point in time, I was ignorant to the fact where I thought, well, like, hey, you open up a dispensary, it's just there. You got it.
You're
You got
rich.
weed.
You
They will
feel
come.
me?
You know what I'm saying? I
Real
didn't
shit.
understand the business aspect of it. So when I saw that, it was honestly was a little demoralizing. You know what I'm saying? I remember us riding home from from Newark. It was in Newark, New Jersey. And we probably were quiet, probably like the first. We were probably quiet like the first 40
Real
minutes. You
shit.
know what I'm saying?
Dead silence.
Dead solid. No bloods being rolled, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker just sitting there, just driving home because it felt like our dreams were just crushed.
Because
You
they
know what I'm
were. At that time,
saying? At that point in time, they were.
they were.
To that point in time, they were because we didn't know the capital that behind it. We didn't know any of these things. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So,
1.4 million.
and we're like, wait, what? I thought you could just grab this little corner store
We
right here
got
and we just
social
open it up.
equity,
Yeah, you
right?
know what I mean? So dreams were crushed at that point in time. We went home. We were driving home, and we were like, yeah. I remember we just started talking. We're like, yo, we got to do something. Like, what are we going to do? Like, Like, is this it? Like, how do we? Because if we don't know this, and we got it pretty much together. Like, we understand
That
business.
was an exact quote.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We got it pretty much together. You know what I'm saying? And if we don't understand this, how is my cousin back home going to understand this? How are our friends back home going to understand it? How are our brothers going to
Yep.
understand it? You
Yep.
know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Um,
And add light, guys. Just add light. At this time, social equity, being black in cannabis, is the biggest thing in the industry.
bro, it was the biggest thing, but I also want to say it was the biggest thing.
At that time.
It was, but I'll say this: it was the biggest thing, but there wasn't many of us here at that time, right? And what I mean by that, I can count on maybe like on one hand
Mhm.
how many black African Americans were here in New Jersey doing cannabis, going to networking events and all those type of things. I don't know what happened prior to 2000, but I mean, when we came in here and got in this industry in 2020, I don't remember, it was few and far between. You know what I'm saying?
Understood. I agree with that.
Yeah,
With that said, though, that's on the people that didn't want to do it.
it's
It
true.
was available to everybody.
It
You know
was.
what I'm saying?
It was. It was. It was. It was.
You feel me?
Um,
And anybody, black, white, green, or purple, at that time was promoting being black in this industry, regardless of your background,
sure.
regardless of your education.
Yeah.
And I'm only saying this to add light to
I mean,
where our minds are after this interaction.
was. I mean, still is.
Well,
Still is to a degree,
to a
though, right?
degree,
Yeah,
to a
to a
degree, but
degree.
not nearly as
Not
intense.
nearly as much. It was a hot topic. It was
the center.
it was the way. Yeah, it was your way in. It was the ticket to
Come
get
on, man.
into the industry.
Come on,
You know what I'm
man.
saying? It was the ticket to get into the industry for sure.
You feel me, bro?
Yes.
So yeah, so I mean, our minds at that time.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Our minds at the time of us driving home are that
Yeah,
where
for sure.
it's few of us here, but we're here,
Mm-hmm.
and we're now realizing we ain't here.
We ain't here.
Mm-mm.
We're not here. So we're like, man, we got to figure something out. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, literally, guys, it takes an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes to get from Newark to where we live. And literally, in that hour and 40 minutes is when we actually came up with the Minority Cannabis Academy.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Within that hour and 40 minutes, we said, hey, man, let's start our own institution, program. You know what I'm saying? Nonprofit is actually what we said. And where we teach and educate minorities or people who've been disenfranchised or impacted by impacted by the war on drugs, right? Who come from these marginalized communities. So that's actually how the MCA was actually born that day.
And, and it's interesting because we have this idea to do this thing. It's never been done before. There's no blueprint, and we had to really go do it straight out the motherfucking mud.
Straight out the mud, for sure.
And we can't go a second further without shouting out our guy, Shia Broad Chandel.
Yeah. Harmony. Shout out Shy, man.
Come on, man.
Shout out Shy.
First person to give us a big check to do something we want to do from scratch.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, and we were shopping this thing. We were shopping this thing for a good year and so before we actually met Shia and actually took it to the next level with Shia. But no, you can't. We'd be remiss if we didn't shout out Shia, Rockendale for that.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
And even before shopping it, we're obviously doing this nonprofit. It's education based, and we're thinking we're gonna get somebody from CRC. Because we're now realizing, to my bro's point, we're smart guys. Like, we've done some wild, crazy things in our careers, and we're looking at this like, whoa, this is not what I thought it was.
No,
and
no.
It's really hard.
Yeah, for sure.
We might be able to pull off. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like, how you going to be in an industry that's focused on your people and not, when you have the capabilities to do it, go do what we did?
No, absolutely.
You feel me?
Absolutely.
Talk about building MCA up to that pilot program.
Yeah, man. I mean, man, that's a good question, bro. I mean, because you know what, it's just so long, but I remember it vividly. You know what I'm saying? Because again, me or you have any background in education.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Don't know the framework of it. Don't know the cadence of it.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know where to begin. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I think that's why we've been so successful as a tandem, because I think anytime there's like a problem, we don't raise the alarm. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely a goal and a dream that we had, and we just, if there's a will, there's a way. I like to say that about us. But yeah, man, we went out, started doing our research. You know what I'm saying? Started to try to find educators. You know what I'm saying? Just thinking of the base roots, like what do we need first, right? What are the basis of it? We got to figure out how to come up with this curriculum. We need someone to write this curriculum, right? We need someone to proofread this curriculum. We got to find some educators. You know what I'm saying? Those were just like, the baseline things that we kind of set forth because those were easy that we understood. You
For
know what I'm
sure.
saying? So those are the things that we tackled first. You know what I'm saying? Fortunately, we're able and got lucky and met some fantastic curriculum writers. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
Um, some fantastic educators that still are with us today that helped us build out MCA. Excuse me, help teach MCA. But yeah, man, it was like a learn how to fly
Hmm.
while you in the sky type of thing,
Real talk.
for sure.
I mean, you guys like understand, like my bro was literally building the desks for the pilot
Yeah,
program.
yeah, for
Like
sure.
we're literally doing conducting our own orientation, like putting every detail together, the PowerPoints,
I mean, the curriculum too. I mean,
like
we're working hand in hand with the curriculum writers
back and
every
forth
week. You know, like
every week.
literally every week, going through, proofreading it,
The
changing it,
labs,
labs. I came up with
labs,
every lab, guys. I came up with
every lab.
every lab that's in our thing. I came up with every lab. You know, and these are things I don't have a background for. It's just it's a job that needs to be done. So it's like, okay, we got to get well versed in this and figure out how to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So
What was
for
that
sure.
first graduation like for you? That very first MCA, and I'm asking these questions because it's so easy just to do these
Mm,
things and move on when you're doing the amount of things you're doing. But it's also I'm not going to allow that, right? I think these are such monumental
it was.
milestones. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, it was. It was a monumental milestone for us. I'll lie to you if I told you that the first one was emotional for me.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna be lying to you, and I don't know why. I think it was because I think for the first one, it took so much, and it's weird, right? You would think because it took so much to get it up and running. You know what I'm saying? Organize it, successful, graduate 25 students, get them jobs. You'd be like, damn, this is, you know what I'm saying? But I felt like at the end of that, we were still fighting for our life,
For
and
sure.
even though I feel we still are. Let me not say that we're not, but it was like
I know what you mean.
it was so much unknown, bro.
I know
You
what
know
you
what I'm saying?
mean.
There was so
Yeah.
much unknown,
I
bro.
know what
So
you
it
mean.
was like there was no time to honestly even take that in for me. You know what I'm saying? Whereas the second one, I don't know why. I think it was because I feel like for us, bro, no one ever gives us our kudos. And I'm not saying
Hmm.
that we want our kudos. That's not what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
bro. You know what I'm saying? But the second one for me in um at Genova Burns, when we had Charles Barker come in there and kind of
It
talk.
validated it.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Not because it's Charles Barker, it's just because
It's someone you respect.
someone you respect and you
Yeah.
see your hard work. You
Giving
know
you
what I'm
giving
saying?
you your kudos, man.
Yeah, it was so you know what I mean. So I think that one was a little more emotional for me. You know what I'm saying?
For
Like
sure.
to be honest with you, than the first one. You
For
know what I'm
sure.
saying? The first one obviously is the most memorable. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Because it's your first. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? It's your
Hmm.
first love. I can remember every student in that cohort. You know what I'm saying? I can remember every class. Like
Yep.
you know what I mean?
Yep.
It was the first, so it's always going to have a sentimental place in my heart. But I think for some reason the second one, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like I mentioned with the Charles Barker,
For sure.
that did it for me for sure.
I mean, yeah, that second one was amazing. Having
Yeah,
Charles Barker there, being at Genova
yeah.
Burns, having the level of
Growing, right? We had a
you know,
double. We doubled in
you know
class.
what I
You know what I'm
mean?
saying? And just keep elevating. So yeah, that was dope to see.
Nah, I
Yeah,
mean, obviously the work with MCA has been amazing. Over 100 graduates since its
yeah,
inception,
yeah, for sure.
built from the ground up, straight out the mud. We can go on for days.
Yeah,
You
a lot
got
of
it. So now at this point, let's paint the picture. You got a full fledged program going on that you built from the ground up,
sure.
hands on.
Yep,
You have a event slash community based, social equity based organization, the 420 NJ events, doing what that's doing. Expungement clinics, medical marijuana sign up events for free,
mhm.
entrepreneur events,
Laptops for free.
laptops for
Resume building
free, resume
workshop.
workshop, like
Yeah,
right. You got all these different things going on.
sure.
How the heck do y'all decide to start a company, the Mud Brothers?
Um, honestly, it was easy, and what I mean by that, it was easy in a sense where MCA is our baby. You know what I'm saying? And it's something that we wanted to see continue to grow. But like you mentioned before, man, like the hardest part with MCA is because we're a nonprofit, and being that cannabis is fairly illegal, right? We're not able to tap into a lot of those government fundings that most nonprofits are able to tap into. You know what I'm saying? So the resources are not there. You know what I'm saying? And this is something that we know that's a necessity. It's something that we love doing. You know what I'm saying? Um, so it was like, hey man, we got to sink or swim. We got to figure out how we can bring some funding into this organization. You know what I'm saying? If we want this thing to continue, or we got to shut this down. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't no longer, sustain MCA.
Mm-hmm.
So we sat back, got to the drawing board, and figured out like what are our solutions, right? We tried the sponsorships. We came up with sponsorship decks and put prices on them and shopped into our previous sponsors to see
Yep.
who will support us in that way. And unfortunately, we didn't get any hits on on that. You know what I'm saying? So we're like, hey, we got to put the power in our own hand. We can't have someone else control our own destiny, right?
Yep.
If we want to do this, let's figure out a way to fund it ourselves. And the easiest way and the most practical way was like, hey, let's start our own brand. You know what I'm saying? Let's start our own brand. Let's figure out what the name would be. But
Mm-hmm.
somehow when we start our own brand, we can kind of funnel those, not funnel, but we can kind of support our mission with MCA,
For
you
sure.
know? So that's how our brand was started at that
Okay.
point. Yeah.
Why concentrates?
Concentrates, I mean, I always love concentrates. You know what I'm saying? I got into concentrates back maybe 2017, 18, around there, 17, I would say.
Oh wow.
Yeah, maybe around there. Maybe even 16. I don't remember when. Probably 16 is probably when I did my first shatter. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Always love concentrates. You know what I'm saying? Always love concentrates. And the market here in New Jersey was so new. Um, the flour wasn't good. You know what I'm saying? The flour wasn't up to par where I felt like, hey, we can go ahead and put our name on flour and our
Mm-hmm.
brand be successful. You know what I'm saying? If we have a bad product, our brand would be out the door in less than a year. You
For
know what I'm
sure.
saying? So I always had a love for concentrates. I knew with okay material or better material, you can make a high quality product with concentrates. I understood that.
Okay.
And being that there wasn't any concentrate brands in the market at that point in time, I knew there was opportunity for us as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When I looked at other mature markets, concentrates dominate those markets. Some markets, for the most part, but they compete hand in hand with flour.
Mm-hmm.
So it just showed that that was the way that eventually the market will go. So I figured like, hey, let's get ahead of the eight ball a little bit and let's throw our hat in the ring and concentrate. Yeah.
What I think is crazy about that is that at the time when you wanted to do concentrates, they were 4%, 5% of the market,
Yeah, still are.
right?
Yeah, still are.
I mean, it's growing now.
Yeah, it's growing, but still roughly about that though, for sure.
But to your point, when you analyze these other states and other markets,
Hmm.
it's going to naturally grow. And then you were so meticulous about not only doing concentrates, but the way we do concentrates.
Sure.
Talk about just the process to the concentrates that Mud Brothers makes and what makes it better than say the distillate shit you see on the market. I'm sorry, let me take that back. Hold on. Talk a little bit about Mud Brothers and what makes their products, superior to the other things you see on the market, the pens that folks can get a lot cheaper and things like that.
I mean, I could say it starts with the people, right? We
Okay.
were fortunate to partner with a good organization um, like Air,
Mm,
right, where they make a decent and high quality product.
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Where they have passionate people that work for them, that care about the plant,
Hmm.
right, and that shows in the plant.
Most definitely.
So that's the first thing.
Hmm.
The second thing is it's us, right? Just understanding cannabis,
Hmm.
understanding terpene profiles and what you look for in the plant and what you look for in the rosin.
Hmm.
Um, doing that QC, right? Overseeing what goes in, what goes out. If
Hmm.
something doesn't meet our standards, you know what I'm saying? It's not going out.
Hmm.
Just putting that attention to detail into our product.
Hmm.
I mean, I think that separates us from the distillates and those things like that. Honestly, distillate and rosin are two totally different beasts, right?
Okay.
Um, rosin is more of a full spectrum. You know what I mean? You get the whole holistic of the whole plant
Okay.
with the rosin. In distillate, you're just getting isolate cannabinoid, which is THC, right?
Okay.
It just gets you high, right?
Okay.
Whereas us, you with our product, you're able to get like the medicinal value out of our product as well, and it's
Okay.
also going to get you fucking high as
For
well.
sure.
You
For
know what
sure.
I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah, for
So
sure. For sure.
yeah. So
Now, I'm sorry. Go
go
ahead.
ahead. No.
No, I see you bought a bunch of the Mud Brothers products here today.
Yeah.
So at this point, is what is gummies? It's
Yep. We got some gummies. We have live rosin gummies
okay.
right on the market now. We have live resin and live rosin vape cartridges.
Okay.
We actually just recently released a disposable vape cart as
Okay.
well.
Okay.
Um, we also have the concentrates, right, that we
Hmm.
spoke of,
Hmm.
live resin, live rosin concentrates as well. We have infused pre rolls. They actually just won the Cannabis Cup this year. This year at what was it called again?
The 420
At
Expo.
420 Expo.
Yep. Yep.
420 Expo. Unfortunately, guys, we're not able to submit and partake in. It wouldn't be fair, right, to partake in a
Look.
Nikan Cup, in the Nikan Cup this year or years to come. You know what I'm saying? Or I would have loved to take that
You
awards.
know what
You
I
know what I'm saying?
mean?
But I'm going to give y'all opportunity to claim y'all stake here in New Jersey. But yeah, man, we got those products, and we also got some, some more exciting products down the line as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
I
for
mean, we,
sure.
we walked through 420 NJ events. We walked through Minority Cannabis Academy. We touched on my brothers. I mean, I would love to get deeper into it, but I know you got to get out of here soon.
Mhm.
Um, you got all three of these things working at such a high level, bro. Like, how do you maintain your work-life balance? How do you maintain your sanity? Like, just tell us, like, just what that feels like being such a integral part of three organizations that all three are really doing their things.
Yeah, it's a challenge, man. You know what I mean? I feel like, you know, when with success, um, when you have success, right? I feel like your personal life is going to suffer a little bit, right? Because I mean, one and one can't. When you're trying to build something, one and one can't be equal. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Something has to suffer a little bit. But fortunately, I have a good support system
Mm-hmm.
that understands that the goal and the mission that we've been on. Bro, it's a challenge, man. It's a
Mm-hmm.
challenge balancing a work and life balance, right? I feel like your personal life or your business life want to suffer if you don't give full attention to one or the other.
Agreed.
Um, but I've been fortunate enough to have a good support system that's been supporting me over
Mm-hmm.
the years and believes in my goals and my vision. So I've been lucky in that aspect.
I mean, that's critical, bro.
Yeah.
We talk about it here on the Smoking Business podcast all the time. Like, it's sacrifices.
Yeah, sacrifices, sacrifices.
Sacrifices, sacrifices. Y'all know how we feel about sacrifices.
Sacrifices,
And,
sacrifices.
and my bro spot on. It's like there's a meter we all live by, right? And every time you tilt that seesaw, it got to go one way or the other.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's just, you got to accept that rotation.
yeah.
There's times you're going to go in dog mode, winter's
Yep.
here, and that business is going to boom, but
Yeah,
that
yeah,
person is going to suffer.
yeah, for sure.
There's times you got to go in hibernation and
Yeah,
go be with the fam and go. That's just part of the grind.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
before I get you out of here, bro, I want to talk about that. I want to like let's get into the camera off shit. Like I want to really get into the grittiness because people hear me talk about it all the time, but now you
Yeah,
got both of us in front of you.
yeah,
I want to get into the grittiness, the dog mentality, the mental toughness, the resilience, all the mental shit that we know you got to possess and we've had to possess that you got to have to be successful in this industry because there's a lot of people watching this that think it's X and they get to a checkpoint and think it's the finish line.
yeah,
We're two guys that are doing the damn thing, but let me be very clear. We are so far away from where we're trying to go.
yeah, for sure.
And we know it.
Yeah, for sure.
And we talk about that often about just how even that mentality of like celebrating our wins is
Mhm.
tough when you're trying to win the big one.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But I want folks watching this to really get this out of this next 10 minutes or so. What the mental, and you can talk about me, you can talk about you, we can go, I don't care how we do it, but I want to understand just the mentality we've had to have to do what we've been able to do.
yeah, man. Um, man, you,
And keep it real. And keep it real. They
bro.
deserve this.
I mean, you got to have that. You got to have that. I'm not going for it mentality. You know what I'm saying, bro? You got to, man. You got to. And what I mean by that, it's like if this is something that you really believe, and forget cannabis for a second. I mean, this goes for anything in life. I don't even think it's just cannabis,
Uh
right? I think just finding your purpose, you know what I'm saying? And when you find your purpose and you believe at something, you got to go 100 towards it. You know what I'm saying? I like to say, we like to say that, you know, we work and then a year later we turn around and
hmm
we lived and died by that. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to have that kind of level of focus and dedication.
hmm
You know what I'm saying? If you don't have that kind of level of dedication, if you don't have that grit, if you don't got that I'm willing to die for this. You know what I'm saying? Literally. You know what I'm saying?
Literally.
Because I mean, literally, we theoretically, not metaphorically, die for this. And what I mean by that, like, we've been in, we went in debt for this. You know what I'm saying? Our personal life suffered for this. Our kids suffered from this. You know what I'm
Our
saying?
health.
Our health suffered from this. You know what I'm saying? Um, but it was all worth it, and I would do it all again. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But you gotta have that. You gotta have that strong mentality where I ain't going. You know what I'm saying? It's either them or me, and it ain't gonna be me. You know what I'm
100%.
saying? Absolutely, bro.
And I think the thing that gets lost in our stories sometimes is not what we did. And let me be clear, what we did is crazy. What we're doing is crazy.
Yeah.
But it's how we're doing it. And what I mean by that is that there was a lot of chances to do fuck shit. There was a lot of chances to make mistakes. And we always say we pride ourselves on you might get over on one of us.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to get one by both of
I
us.
agree. It's very true.
And I just want to make sure we highlight that part of this segment. It's just like like your mental has to be so strong as an individual. But if you're gonna be a partner to somebody, honestly, you need to have a partner or two or three or
You
four.
do. You do. You can't.
Right?
I wouldn't tell anyone to go on this journey, this cannabis journey, by yourself. I think
Mhm.
it's impossible to do it by yourself. To be honest with you, I really do.
I second that.
Yeah.
From a sheer mental health perspective.
Just that.
Sheer mental health. You gotta have somebody you can talk to.
You got to.
You got somebody you can talk to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you're gonna be talking that much, you gotta get value out of it. So they need to be a partner.
Yeah.
And I say that part because if you're going to be someone's partner in an unknown, no blueprint given
Yeah.
industry, and you're betting your life on it,
Yeah.
you're betting your kids on it, your
Yeah.
family on it, your health, you're betting everything on it.
Yeah.
You better be tight.
Yeah.
And you better be like, it's not just willing to die for this shit. I'm willing to die for this nigga.
Yeah.
I'm willing to die for this person I'm partnering with.
Yeah.
I'm like, his decisions could kill me.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Before you partner with somebody, ask yourself that.
Mm.
Can he or she make a decision that'll ruin me? And am I okay with that?
Yeah.
It just pretty God that's not what the fuck it is. but that's how deep it gets though. Like,
yeah.
because I see it all the time where people partner and then the egos start creeping in.
Yeah.
They start not like they don't know their roles. They like it be like again once
you get a little bit of success and then
ooh,
yeah, you get a little bit of success and then you start feeling like the man.
Come
you
on,
know
man.
what I'm saying?
And we've been fortunate because again we come from the same place. We grew up together. We've been mud brothers way before we were mud brothers. So we know how each of us is going to act with success because we've seen it at all levels of life. Success at 15 years old was different.
Sure.
But you had it. I had it.
Yeah.
Success at 22 is different. I had it. You had it.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
like yeah, we're doing something different, but understand we were always successful at what we were doing.
Yeah, for sure.
We just now have found our passion.
Yeah.
And I say that part because
our purpose.
We found our purpose. I'm sorry.
Found our purpose.
Found our purpose.
Yeah.
But I say that because that resilience, that mentality, that grit, that determination, that I ain't going for it. That Kodak Black, you got me fucked up. You're gonna go out without a fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nah, it's real gladiator mentality, and I say gladiator for a male or a female.
Yeah.
And I say this for cannabis or anything else.
Yeah, for sure.
It's about to be 2025. If you're doing anything entrepreneurial and you're not willing to die by it, and I don't mean figuratively. Don't go out here and do no stupid shit. I'm talking about work your ass off to the bone.
Yeah, give your last.
Give your last.
Literally.
No matter what people say. Yeah. No matter how down on yourself you are.
Yeah.
If you want to put together a strategy and go after it, that's what it's going to take. Or don't even do it.
Yeah, you got to be okay with losing too. You got to be okay with losing.
That part.
100%.
That part.
It makes the wins that much sweeter, but you're going to take a lot more losses than you would. You know what I'm saying? But when you're striving for goal, right? When you get that, when you win, right? You win in that goal. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be okay with losing, man. Mm-hmm. You have to. You got to dust yourself off. You got to be resilient. You know what I'm saying? You got to be resilient. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm so glad you said that though. I don't mean to cut you off.
Mm-hmm.
Because people don't realize how gracious we are in losses.
Yeah. We lost more than we won.
It's not even. I'm about to say not even close.
Probably 100 times. I don't know.
It's not even close.
Our wins we could probably count on one hand. You know what I'm saying? Well, honestly,
you know how many times we've taken? I'm talking about torturous, Final Destination type L's.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah.
When do we tell y'all about it? When we talk about it?
Nah, man.
Because you can't. That's just what it is. That's what you sign up for.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're coming in cannabis or any kind of cutthroat, regulated entrepreneur, dog meat eat dog type of industry, come in with the right mentality and understand what you're getting into. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It really is what it is. Mm-hmm. Bro, last thing before you get out of here, man.
Yeah.
Mud Brothers is obviously killing it, crushing it, over 100 stores, MCAs, over 100 graduates, 420 NJ events, Cannabis Cup with Nikan coming, Nikan itself. I mean, it's
third year Nikan for sure.
Like just nuts what you guys. What's next? Is there
Man,
expansion ideas? Is there what's the next thing for?
yeah, I mean, growth is always great, right? You never want to be static. We're looking to expand, right? We're
Mhm.
looking into hopefully break into a few states this coming year. Um, we're launching some products this year, some exciting products that hopefully be new to the market. Hopefully be new to the market. We can, get them out
Get them
onto
out.
get them out first. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um, possibly flour down the line. You guys
Fuck.
heard it here first.
Fuck.
Yeah, man, and just continue to elevate the brand and continue to elevate the mission, and just continue to grow, bro.
Mud Brothers Flour.
My brother's flour, man.
Crazy.
2025 for sure.
Crazy.
Yeah,
All right, man. Well, listen, man. I appreciate you coming through, man. Where,
yeah,
where,
bro.
where
Thanks
can
for
the people
having me.
find you? Where can they find the socials?
Yeah, you can find me at 420 NJ events underscore NJ, at the Mud Brothers underscore NJ, at Minority Cannabis Academy, on IG as well.
All right, bet.
For
We
sure,
appreciate you, bro.
no doubt.
Listen, man. It's been another episode of Smoking Business Podcast. Your boy Brendan Robinson. I'll see y'all next time. In the meantime, it's money season. Let's get it.
Hey.